In a world on edge, Taiwan holds its breath. While global powers play their games, a secret lifeline has been prepared for its most critical minds. It's not a tunnel dug under the South China Sea, but it is an escape route, meticulously planned. And it doesn't lead to America or Germany, it leads to one of Europe's most underestimated nations, Poland. Taiwan knows what Poland learned the hard way. Sovereignty isn't a birthright, it's a fight. Right now, 23 million people live on an island that's become the flashpoint of the 21st century. The world's most advanced semiconductors, the chips that power everything from your phone to fighter jets, come from Taiwan, which means every major power wants a piece. China wants reunification. America wants deterrence. Europe wants, well, Europe doesn't know what it wants anymore. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Taiwan isn't waiting for permission. Behind the diplomatic smiles and carefully worded statements, a network has been built. Not a military alliance. Those are too loud, too obvious. This is something quieter. A pathway, a mechanism, a route that doesn't appear on any crisis map published by Washington or Brussels. It connects the Taipei representative office in Warsaw with the Polish office in Taipei. 2 buildings, 2 teams, 1 understanding. The question everyone asks is, where would Taiwan's best minds go if the unthinkable happens? Silicon Valley? Maybe. Tokyo? Perhaps. But there's a third option that's been prepared in silence, and it runs straight through the heart of Europe's most resilient nation. Poland isn't offering sympathy. It's offering something far more valuable, a functioning system. While Germany debates with Beijing and France hedges its bets, Poland has built the infrastructure, the consular channels, the visa pathways, the bureaucratic machinery that can move people when it matters most. This isn't charity. This is strategy. Taiwan has what Poland needs: cutting-edge technology, world-class engineers, and a population that understands what it means to live under existential threat. Poland has what Taiwan needs: a stable foothold in NATO territory, a government that doesn't blink when China makes threats, and a society that's been preparing for crisis since 1939. So while the world watches the warships circling the Taiwan Strait, something else is happening. Quietly, deliberately, a route is open, and it leads east. There's a reason this connection works, and it's written in blood. Poland knows what it's like to be the country everyone talks about, but nobody defends. In 1939, Britain and France promised support. Then Poland was carved up between Hitler and Stalin while the world looked away. In 1981, the Soviets crushed solidarity while Western Europe sent strongly worded letters. Taiwan gets it. When Beijing rattles sabers, the international community offers grave concern and continues doing business. But Poland and Taiwan share something deeper than parallel histories. They share a common enemy, not just China, not just Russia, but the entire mentality that says small nations should know their place. That sovereignty is negotiable. That independence is a privilege granted by larger powers, not a right defended by determined people. Poland is NATO's hardened eastern flank, not because Brussels trusts Warsaw with some strategic honor, but because Poland is the only country in Europe that still remembers what it means to face an existential threat every single day. While Germany worries about gas prices and France frets over pensions, Poland is building military infrastructure and training reserves, because Poland knows the bear is always at the border. Taiwan sees this. And Taiwan recognizes something the West has forgotten. Strength isn't about GDP or how many aircraft carriers you float. Strength is about will, about refusing to flinch when the pressure comes, about building systems that work when everyone else is paralyzed by committee meetings and diplomatic niceties. The formal link is simple. The Taipei Representative Office in Warsaw handles Taiwan's interests in Poland. The Polish office in Taipei does the reverse. On paper, they're consular facilities. In practice, they're the foundation of something far more valuable, a trust network. When Poland needs technical expertise, semiconductor design, precision manufacturing, cybersecurity architecture, Taiwan delivers. When Taiwan needs a secure European partner that won't fold under Chinese economic pressure, Poland steps up. No grandstanding, no public declarations, just results. Contrast this with Germany. Berlin hosts the largest Taiwanese community in Europe, but Germany also does 400 billion euros in trade with China every year. When push comes to shove, which relationship do you think Germany protects? Poland does less than 20 billion with China. Poland can afford to pick a side. France is too busy managing its declining influence in Africa and pretending it still runs the European Union. The UK, Brexit Britain, can't even manage its own immigration system, let alone coordinate a strategic talent pipeline. Poland is the only major European nation that can make a decision and execute it without checking with Beijing first. And that's exactly what Taiwan needs. Here's where the theory becomes reality, where the grand strategy turns into stamped documents and plane tickets. The route isn't a secret tunnel or a smuggling network. It's something far more elegant, a legal, repeatable, scalable visa system that prioritizes the right people at the right time. In a crisis, speed matters. But legitimacy matters more, because once you're inside a legal framework, you have rights, protections, permanence. Poland offers Taiwan citizens two primary pathways, depending on their situation. The first is the D-type national visa, the long-term entry mechanism. If you're a Taiwanese professional, researcher or entrepreneur planning to work in Poland for more than 90 days, this is your entry point. The requirements are strict, but they're transparent. You apply in person at the Polish office in Taipei. You present your passport, must be valid for at least 3 months after your planned departure, issued within the last 10 years with at least 2 blank pages. You provide proof of legal residence in Taiwan, proof of financial means, proof of accommodation in Poland, documentation explaining your purpose of stay. Then you wait. The system processes. The stamp arrives. You're in. The second pathway is faster but more selective, the working holiday visa. Poland and Taiwan have a bilateral agreement allowing young professionals, aged 18 to 30, to live and work in Poland for up to a year. The requirements? Passport valid 90 days past departure, proof of funds, all risk insurance, clean criminal record, and again, in person. Application. Why in person? Because in person means verification. It means no forged documents slipping through. It means the Polish consular staff in Taipei can assess, interview and approve the people who matter most, the engineers, the researchers, the tech founders who will bring value to Poland's economy. This isn't a refugee processing system, it's a talent pipeline. And here's the beautiful part. It's already running. Right now, thousands of Taiwanese professionals are eligible. The bureaucratic infrastructure is in place, the precedents are set, the legal framework is tested. If a crisis erupts tomorrow, Poland doesn't need to invent a new system. It just scales the existing one. While other nations scramble to draft emergency visa protocols and negotiate with airlines, Poland can simply say, use the process. We already built it. Compare this to Germany's system, paralyzed by European Union regulations, slowed by federal-state coordination issues, and compromised by political debates over immigration quotas. Or Britain's, bogged down in post-Brexit bureaucratic chaos, with processing times measured in months. Poland's system works because it was designed to work under pressure. This is a nation that's been planning for crisis since the Cold War ended. The paperwork isn't an obstacle. It's a filter. It's a mechanism that separates those who bring value from those who bring chaos. And when the moment comes, that mechanism becomes Taiwan's lifeline. Let's be direct. Germany is compromised, Britain is confused, France is distracted, and none of them can be trusted when the stakes are existential. Start with Germany. Berlin loves to talk about European values and the rules-based international order. Beautiful rhetoric. But here's the reality. Germany does more trade with China than any other European nation. Volkswagen sells more cars in Shanghai than in Stuttgart. Siemens builds factories in Shenzhen. BASF signs 30-year contracts in Guangdong. German prosperity is built on Chinese demand. So when Beijing says, choose a side, what do you think Germany does? Germany will offer Taiwan sympathy. Maybe even sanctions, the symbolic kind that exclude critical industries. But when it comes to actual refuge for Taiwan's tech elite, when it comes to standing firm against Chinese economic retaliation, Germany folds. It always does, because Germany's political class is terrified of losing access to the Chinese market. Poland doesn't have that problem. Poland's economy isn't dependent on Beijing's goodwill, which means Poland can make the hard choice without destroying its own future. Now look at the UK. Post-Brexit Britain is a case study in strategic incoherence. The immigration system is in chaos. Processing times for work visas stretch beyond 6 months. The Home Office can't coordinate with the Foreign Office. And the entire political establishment is consumed by internal debates over Northern Ireland, Scotland, and whether Brexit was worth it in the first place. Taiwan needs a partner that can execute. Britain can barely govern itself. And France is too busy pretending it still runs a global empire. Paris spends its diplomatic energy managing crises in West Africa, negotiating with Russia, and trying to position itself as the leader of a Europe that stopped listening years ago. Macron talks a big game about strategic autonomy. But when it comes to actually building systems that work, consular infrastructure, visa processing, talent integration, France is all vision and no follow-through. Poland doesn't talk about strategic autonomy. Poland just builds it. Here's the deeper truth. Western Europe is tired. It's rich, comfortable, and risk-averse. It wants stability, not disruption. It wants trade, not confrontation. And that mentality makes it fundamentally unreliable as a crisis partner. Poland is different. Poland is hungry. Poland remembers what it's like to rebuild from nothing. Poland understands that today's crisis is tomorrow's opportunity. If you're prepared to act when Taiwan's semiconductor engineers need a safe haven, Germany will offer them a visa. In 4 months, after 10 meetings with 5 different agencies, Britain will lose their application in a filing cabinet in Croydon. France will redirect them to an overworked consular officer in Manila. Poland will stamp their passport in Taipei and put them on a plane to Warsaw within a week. That's not rhetoric, that's infrastructure. And infrastructure wins wars. Here's what everyone misses. This isn't a rescue operation. It's a recruitment drive. Poland isn't preparing to save Taiwan out of altruism. Poland is preparing to absorb Taiwan's greatest asset, its people. And not just any people, the engineers who design 3-nanometer chips, the researchers who push the boundaries of quantum computing, the entrepreneurs who've built one of the most innovative tech ecosystems on the planet. When a crisis forces Taiwan's best minds to leave, they won't just be looking for safety, they'll be looking for a place where they can continue their work. Where the infrastructure exists, where the government understands what they do and why it matters. Poland is building that place right now. Over the past 5 years, Warsaw has invested billions in tech infrastructure. The capital is becoming a regional hub for data centers, AI research, and advanced manufacturing. Polish universities are expanding computer science programs. The government is offering tax incentives for foreign tech workers, and unlike Germany or France, Poland's tech scene isn't saturated. There's room to grow, to build, to dominate. Now imagine an influx of 5,000 Taiwanese engineers, 10,000, 20,000. Suddenly, Poland isn't just a manufacturing hub for German car parts, it's a semiconductor design center, a quantum computing research cluster, a rival to Silicon Valley that sits inside NATO's defensive perimeter and operates under European regulations. This is Poland's great